So today on Idiots Go Running, we have Patrick. Say hello, Patrick.
Hey, Colin, how you doing?
On our show, we've got a guest who likes to run. Do they really? Do they jog around the place just for fun? That's not fun. Are they a professional athlete? Nope. Lining at the start with the elite. It don't matter. We've got a guest on our show because we asked and they didn't say no. It don't matter because our show has a guest. It does. Pretty much because we asked and they said yes.
Patrick, I am fine. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Just got back from the mountains. I had spent 2 days in the Dolomites in Italy, and it was absolutely amazing. I just got back to the city.
You are from what part of Italy then?
I'm from northwest, and the Dolomites are northeast. So we have big mountains also here in the northwest, but they're kind of like a different landscape. So here they are much more like rugged, like really, really steep stuff. And on that side, it's more like they're a lot thicker, so they have a lot more mountains spread out, and it's a lot more flat stuff with then like the mountain going up this way. And then you might have seen like Le Tre Cime di Lavaredo, really famous around the world. Like on Instagram, you'll see it everywhere. It's just like these big rocks just popping up straight up. So it's a very big spot for climbing and also for trail running and for skiing in the winter.
Oh, Patrick, I would love to say that I'm not jealous, but I am super.
I'm jealous of them too.
That we I'm don't super have jealous. We have the Mourne Mountains, and it's an area of outstanding beauty. And the way you're describing that, it's I don't know. It makes our area of outstanding beauty sound less outstanding. So, what were you doing up in the mountains?
So basically, I work with an Italian magazine that is all about the outdoors, so trail running, but also skiing and everything, all that kind of stuff. And on Saturday, I did a job with Hoka. So Hoka just launched a new like hiking boot, which is completely different from normal hiking boots. It's like basically a trail running shoe, but with that mountain boot technology. So maybe it's warm, it's made with Gore-Tex, so it's waterproof. So that was like one day, and then 2 days after there was a big trade show where they show all the new stuff for skiing, winter sports, and some trail running stuff in Bolzano, which is kind of like maybe 3 hours from where I did the Hoka thing. So I went over there and saw all the new products for this year and next year, and got to talk with people who work with these brands and see what the new technology is and for this magazine.
Wow. I'm getting more and more. I'm getting more and more jealous here. So I shouldn't say jealous. I should say more and more sort of inspired by you. So like you've told me what you've been doing. What's your job? What's your day-to-day job?
Yeah, basically I make videos. I've been making videos since I was like 18. Started out with snowboarding and skateboarding videos, and it's a very, very weird kind of like series of events because basically there's always like when you go snowboarding or skateboarding, there's always like a crew of friends, and then there's always one guy who gets injured, and the guy who gets injured picks up the camera and starts filming his other friends, and that was me. And this is like so many stories like this, every time it happens the same way. So I just started making videos, and then I ended up working with a video production in Italy, being like the second guy filming. So I did that. I made snowboarding videos for 2-3 years. And that just progressed into making like more commercials, and now a bit of like documentary stuff, and trying to move more towards like sport centered documentaries. So I did a very, very cool documentary. I think the best job I did so far is Badlands. It's a very, very famous gravel bike race.
Yes.
I made a documentary for a brand that sent 4 athletes to Badlands, and I made a documentary about that. That was absolutely amazing. So like being in the desert, being outdoors, being in these amazing places, and you also get to meet like really cool people, to be honest. So yeah, that's my day today. And right now I'm helping this because I have a YouTube channel that I built in the past 3 years. So right now I'm helping this Italian magazine to build their YouTube channel based on, gear reviews. And then hopefully we're going to do like some documentary style content too. It's really, really hard though. Like the beginning is so hard to grow on YouTube, but it's cool. It's cool.
It's you nearly have to play the long game and just
Definitely.
keep working at it.
Also, if you don't see results, exactly, you have to just keep on pushing.
I suppose the reason why I got you on the show was that's amazing about what you do day to day, but it was more about sport. It's more about I follow you on Instagram, and you would compete in Ironman. Is that right? Ironmans.
Well, basically, I had zero background in sport. So as I said before, I used to snowboard and skateboard. That's all I did. And the only thing I used to do was like commute in the city by bike. That's the only things. And then I started taking like my health kind of like, let's say more seriously. This was before doing any type of sport. And what happened is I had a pretty crazy injury in my back. And this injury was so bad that basically I couldn't even work. I couldn't like pick up cameras and any of that stuff. I couldn't ride my bike anymore. I couldn't, and I realized in that moment how much I had taken for granted all these like, small things, like all the things that my body could do. I was taking them for granted. And luckily, I got into a pool because a friend of mine told me, I think you would benefit from swimming. And little do I know that swimming is literally the only sport which is anti-gravitational. So basically there is no force of gravity on you. Like even if you're lying flat, like if you're in the same position that you would do swimming, but lying flat on the ground, gravity is impacting your whole structure. When swimming, that is completely, it doesn't exist. And magically, my back got better. So I just kept on swimming and I was horrifically bad at swimming. Like it's terrible. It's a completely technique-based sport. But I did feel a lot better when I would do it. So I just kept at it. And while I was injured, I don't know why, don't ask me why, but YouTube would feed me these documentaries like the North Face documentaries about people going on mountains. Then it would feed me like Billy Yang ultra running documentaries. And I had no clue that people would run those distances. I had zero idea of anything about running. So something was working in my mind that when I got back to being able to swim, then I got back on my bike and then I started running a bit. And as you know, these three things make up a triathlon. So I just started doing them consistently because I felt like real benefits in my day-to-day life, in my job, from just getting out and doing something every day. And this slowly snowballed until I did I trained for an Olympic distance triathlon. And then after a couple of months, I did a 70.3 Ironman, so half distance. And I just loved it. It made me feel some things that I'd never felt in my life. Like it was really profound experiences, both in the race, but especially in training. Like the training was what really, I really liked the training. Like the race was, it was a transformational experience, but training every day, getting up every day, like following a program. I'd never, ever followed a program. I didn't even know how to structure anything. So that was transformational in itself, getting up, doing it day after day after day. And then I said, okay, let's do an Ironman. Let's do a full distance Ironman. And full distance Ironman is 3.8 kilometers swimming. Then you ride 180 kilometers and then you run a marathon, 42.2 kilometers. And this, when I decided to sign up, was something that I had no clue if I could actually do it. It was something that was really, really daunting. Like I would maybe think, I can do it. And then I would do like a really hard training session and I would be like, I don't know if this time maybe I signed up for something that is a bit too hard for me. But I just kept at it. I kept getting better. I really liked it. I enjoy training so much. I enjoy cycling a lot. So I just trained, and then I ended up doing one. And then I said, okay, maybe I can, it didn't really become the experience that I was expecting. It was worse because evidently I didn't train well enough. So I was left with a kind of like a bit of a void after this first Ironman. So I said, okay, I have to do another one. So I did a second one. Second one was absolutely amazing, an amazing experience because at that point, I basically started my YouTube channel. So I did 2 years of triathlon training. I did my first Ironman. And then after that, I started the YouTube channel. And starting the YouTube channel, it helped so many people because I'd made a pact with myself that if I managed to do an Ironman, I would make a video about how I trained for it, coming from zero background in any sport. So at that point, people started watching the channel. So the second Ironman, I got there and there were, people like coming up, saying hi and everything. It was a really, really cool experience. The race went a lot better than the first time. And then I said, okay, I got very close to 10 hours. I think I can do sub 10 hours. 10-hour Ironman is something that I think is achievable by anyone if they just like train consistently for like 2 or 3 years. So I ended up training for that. And with that, I qualified for the World Championship. So I did the World Championship. And basically it was 4 years of my life because when you do Ironman, that's all you do. Because mostly you just can't risk getting injured by doing other things like trail running or, marathon running, you need to be completely focused on that, because the races go sold out so much time before that if you miss that opportunity, you might have to wait for, a whole other year. So after that, I switched a bit to trail running and ultra running, which I really enjoy and is my main focus right now.
Oh, trail and ultra running's your main focus right now?
Yeah. I mean, I have done a couple of marathons at this point because I enjoy the experience of the marathon. Like, I find it like it's a really, really different type of pain. Like, and I think it's very transformative as well, because you're right there on the edge of like what you can sustain and what would make you like blow up terribly. So I've been doing a couple of marathons, but yeah, trail and ultra is my main focus right now.
Patrick, you are, and I say this, I don't mean it lightly, inspirational, because most people get hit with stuff in their life and you go, oh, that sucks. I'm going to put my feet up and watch Netflix. There's not a lot of people out there who take something that you're given and then you twist it into a positive. That's what you did. Hurt your back, you started swimming, you enjoyed it. But then what happened, the way you're talking, it becomes a lifestyle. Some people train for a marathon and they have this block, and this is my block, and I'm going to train for this marathon to get my best time. By the sounds of things, you love getting out there. You love just the experience. It's part of your life. Training isn't, oh, I have to go and train. Like myself, I love to go and train. I did catch that there was YouTube videos in your story.
Definitely,
now,
yes.
If you've watched or listened to any of our previous episodes, my brother Andrew doesn't really like training, but he will watch the YouTube videos, and he believes that going to the gym on the treadmill, watching YouTube videos, got him through his 108-mile race with myself. I kid you not. He watched every 100-mile YouTube video that you could ever think of under the sun. And I said, Andrew, have you seen this one? I've seen it a few times. I kind of go on. But he believes YouTube alone will get you through anything. And look, we're speaking about Andrew, and Andrew has a question. And you also mentioned that, like, Hoka were bringing out a new shoe. Andrew's question is to do with a new shoe.
Patrick, you have entered a race called the Batman 100, and you get special shoes that have a Batman design on them, but they do much more than just have a design on them. Every time you put your feet on the ground in these shoes, the left foot says, I'm, and the right foot says Batman. So when you're running, all you will hear is, I'm Batman, I'm Batman, I'm Batman, for the whole 100 miles. My question to you can have anyone in the world to voice your Batman shoes. Who do you want to voice I'm Batman, for the whole 100 miles? The second part of the question is, how long until you get really fed up with the I'm Batman shoes?
Okay, so the question is what voice I would like it to be.
Correct.
I would say maybe something soothing. I can't really think about anyone in particular, but maybe like a calm, soothing voice. Definitely not someone, not someone that is hyper, like screaming.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, something like that. Exactly, something like that.
Morgan Freeman would be an interesting I'm Batman, and I believe he was in one of the Batman movies as well, so it kind of fits.
Yeah. I would say Morgan Freeman.
And you did hint at a very low voice. Because how long could you cope with that?
Depends on the race. Maybe if the race is like really important, maybe the whole race. I don't know. I mean, you gotta do it. 2 miles, 2-3 miles, maybe. Yeah,
it's a conversation starter with people. You're running beside people. Yeah,
exactly.
People will. You'll encourage people beside you to speed up or disappear from you. You might find yourself isolated in a race. If I was running beside someone, it's funny for the first 5 minutes, and then.
It could have its positives. Definitely.
Yeah, I think you need to install a turn off and turn on button for the I'm Batman.
Or maybe run barefoot. Yeah, you could do barefoot 100.
I absolutely love it. And so Andrew's also into his AI. You're into your video. What's your thoughts on AI coming into video editing?
Yeah, I love it. But the problem is for the actual editing of videos, it is, I don't think it's, at the moment at least, it's definitely not replacing us. Because video editing, like, it is so complicated, and it is so based on, like, human taste, like, an actual human looking at stuff, because only a human, it's not about, is it in focus? It's about so many other things, like the camera movement. Like even if a camera movement is not perfect, maybe it's perfect for your video, or maybe there's one take, like maybe let's say like a sporting event. There's so many things that a human needs to like evaluate to decide if a clip is okay. Then you have to put it in, and when you put it in, it's like every frame, one frame can make a difference between a good cut and a bad cut. So it can definitely help. Like for instance, I'll give you an example. It helps tremendously to speed up stuff because you have now a built-in function which is auto-transcribe. So basically I can put in a 20-minute clip, or this podcast, you could put it in, and like Premiere Pro automatically transcribes it perfectly or almost perfectly, and then you can see where the silences are. And with one click, you can delete all the silences. So that, for instance, is a huge help. And that is like AI, that kind of stuff. So I'm all for it. But you need to have one human that is actually, doing the stuff and finishing it up.
I think you're 100% right in that. You're saying AI is great, but it can make humans look pretty stupid as well by not using it right.
Yeah, but just like simple stuff that a computer will just doesn't understand. It doesn't have that the sophistication that the human brain has, or the taste, or
the emotion. The emotion, I think.
Yeah,
as well.
I think it's. I think there's a lot that we still can do.
That's class, because when you mentioned video editing, I thought I have to ask you about AI, because it is a Marmite thing where people love it, people hate it. I think academic people hate AI, and creative people love AI.
I love it. It's so helpful. Like even for scripts, like you can just tweak a script or just have a basic outline of what you want to say, and then you can work on it. It just speeds up stuff a bit. But yeah, you still need to work. That's the thing.
So, Patrick, I haven't asked you about your story, but kind of understand where you're coming from, your background, your story. But now we're going into 2025. What's your plans? What's going on this year?
Well, this year is going to be ultra running focused. So my main goal this year is to do the fastest time that I can on 100 miles. So to do that, I've chosen a race which is incredibly similar to Western States here in Italy. It's called Tuscany Crossing, and it's a very, very low-key race, 200 participants, and it is in the beautiful region of Tuscany. So it's all going to be rolling trails and extremely runnable. Right now, I'm preparing for that. I've just started. This year, I'm taking a very different approach. Last year, I trained for my first 100 mile, which was Istria 100, and I trained with a very high volume, low intensity approach. This year, I'm completely doing the opposite. So I'm doing a high intensity, very low volume approach, which means that right now I'm still working a ton on intensity. Like yesterday, I did 24K run, but inside it, the first hour had some really, really hard threshold to max intensity blocks, like 2 times 8 minutes max and then one time 4 minutes max, which is something that last year I didn't do at all. So that is going to be the main focus for the first half of the year. And it's going to be basically 2 races. I'm going to do the last long run as a race this year. And it's going to be Chianti 120K by UTMB. And that is going to be something like 3.5 weeks or 4 weeks before Tuscany. So we'll have, because last year I training for the first 100, I did everything in training. So, and I found it very hard to do like the very long run. Doing it in training is like massively difficult, also mentally, but especially logistics, like having stuff to eat or having to carry so much stuff. So this year I opted to do it as a race. And yeah, that's my main goal. I love trail running. It's like, it's captured me completely. I love going to all these amazing places. I love the ultra distance, even though I love short distance as well, like half marathon, marathon. I really like it, but I really like 100K and 100 miles. Also probably because of the mythical aspect of 100 miles, which is the distance that you can cover in one day. So there's no sleep deprivation, which is something that I don't like all the really long ultra stuff. Also with cycling, I don't really dig that. I think because you can't really train sleep deprivation. So it's something that you can't really get much better at. And I think it poses a big safety risk, like doing stuff when you're really tired and you're about to fall asleep. To me, that's not really athleticism, let's say, or it might be endurance. But to me, 100 miles, I would like to do Tuscany Crossing in less than 24 hours. So that would be that will be a really cool thing to do this year. Then the second half of the year,
when's the date of the Tuscany? Sorry, I'll jump in there because
11th of April. And then yesterday they had, I don't know if you saw, they had the lottery results for UTMB.
I didn't see it. Did you get in?
No, I didn't get in. For the second year in a row, I have quite a bit of running stones. So basically you have running stones, which means you have one ticket to enter the lottery. And apparently the median number of stones you need is 6. I had 10, didn't get in. But I mean, I have one more year to train for it. So I would like to do it one day.
The running stones, I'm interested in the UTMB at the minute. Kids, life, family, holidays.
Yeah, it's a lot.
UTMB's expensive as well. You know,
it's pretty expensive, yeah.
You know, like especially when you're coming from the UK or Ireland, you know, you're traveling, accommodation, with yourself. You're like you cut out flights and all that. You're a bit easier. You're a bit more accessible for yourself. But explain the running stones for me, because that's something I looked up. So there's a few races in England that you get running stones for the UTMB. Arc of Attrition, I think.
Yeah, Arc of Attrition, very famous.
Yes, and the
Ultra Trail Snowdonia.
Yes, Snowdonia, that's the one. Getting running stones, you said you need about 6 or 10 to...
Yeah, 6. No, well, you need 1 to enter. And the thing is, to enter UTMB, like the 100-mile race, you need 1 running stone in the 100K or 100-mile category. I think, don't quote me on this, but basically you need 1 running stone. 1 running stone you can get at any UTMB race in the world that has a 100K or 100-mile distance. Usually it's more than 1. Like if you do a 100K race, I think it's 2. And if you do a 100-mile race, it's 4. So Istria, for instance, was 4 running stones. And once you get these stones, you can pre-register, so for the lottery. And every stone is a ticket. So if you have 6, 7, 8, 10, or 20, the higher the number, the more probability you have to enter the event.
Okay.
I think it's a great system, because if you look at the equivalent, which is Ironman, if you look at Ironman, the method for which you can get to the World Championship, it sucks. I hate it, because it's all based on times and fast times. And this is something that is extremely competitive. And to be honest, I don't think it really showcases people who are in love with the sport. Like, I think that anybody should have the opportunity, or at least a part, who are not fast, but maybe they are extremely passionate. Like maybe they've been doing it for a lot of years. I think everybody should have a chance to get to the World Championship. So I really hope that UTMB keeps on doing this. I think it's a great, great system. And this because I didn't get in, of course. But I think they should not move to doing it by times or by having at least a certain number of UTMB index. I don't think that's a solution. So yeah, that's basically the lottery for UTMB. The race is amazing. I would really like to do it just to go there to see, to do this big loop around the Mont Blanc. It's pretty amazing, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a dream. It would be sometime in the future. It would be a dream of mine to say, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So at the minute, like yourself, I'm working on my 100-mile races, and like yourself, I'm trying to get my time below 24 hours.
It is entirely course dependent.
Yes, exactly. Because every trail, you can have different inclines. Like in our trail, we hit a lot of marshy areas, and it's not only a 100-mile race; it's an 108-mile race. So you've got 78 mile there extra to
those hurt.
They do hurt. And I've had the race director was on. Oh no, it was Dean Carnazzi said, he goes, 100 miles hard, but then 8 miles are going to suck. Like you finish 100 miles and your body's done 100 miles and you're like, still got flipping 8 miles to go, and 8 miles is pretty far.
Istria was 104 miles, and the worst ones were the last 4 miles. Seriously, like they were so the second to last 3. The last one was okay because you get to the city, there's people, but those are from 101 to 104 was like one of the worst moments of my life. Seriously, like such a low.
What about next time you do it, Patrick? You reprogram your brain and see when you start the starting line. Don't start your watch. Start your watch at 4 mile, and then you go boop, and then that was your warm up. You know the way you see people before a marathon running around in circles, doing all their fancy stretches and all. No offense, it's good to do fancy stretches. Everyone has to do their fancy stretches. Their warm-up runs, but that's 4 mile is your warm-up run, and then you start your watch, and then
That's
you know you've got
genius.
100 miles left.
That's genius. I think I will do it.
So, Patrick, so where do we go from here? So we've spoke about what you've got coming up this year. You said you've got 200-mile races this year, and that's your main focus, and nothing else after them.
At the moment, because I've learned that I can't really make long-term programs. So I'll just see what happens now. Then I'll see what I want to do. Because, like, for instance, last year, I did Istria. So I've been training like 3 months, super high volume, low intensity, all that stuff. Did Istria. First week felt like trash afterwards. Second week, it felt absolutely fantastic. And my body was like craving intensity, like really craving intensity. I would go out for a run and I would just like want to run as hard as I could. And basically what happened is 2 weeks after Istria, I did a half marathon just completely randomly. Like I just went out and ran, you know, and I did like 1:27. So I was like, for me, that's fast, you know, for me, that's a good time. So I said, okay, maybe, you know what? I think I can do a sub 3 hour marathon. So exactly 2 weeks after that, I didn't register for anything. I just got my shoes, got dressed, went out of my house like on a Tuesday morning, had my ex-girlfriend giving me drinks and bottles, and I just ran 2:58, like 1 month after Istria, and it was absolutely not planned. So this is what I mean by I don't make plans, because you never know. You never know what your body wants to do, you know? And I listen to my body quite a lot. So
you just follow your body is what they're saying?
Yeah. Follow like what you're excited about, you know? And you can't know unless it's UTMB. Oftentimes you can't really know what you will be excited about in like 6 months, you know? Could be something else. It could be weightlifting for all I know. It could be so many different things. So I like to keep an open mind, open vision, open calendar. So
love it. Absolutely love it. Middle of 100 mile, you're craving food. What food do you go for? Do you go for anything fancy?
So do you know this brand called Naak? Naak.
I think, are you going to talk about these waffle things?
Waffles.
I seen your live thing, and that was my question. I said, what do you eat? What do you eat? And you said Naak. And I've Googled them, and I've seen them, and I've seen the waffles.
There's basically, Naak makes, I think, they make a bar, which is extremely high fat, like super, super high fat. The waffle is kind of like in between. It does have a little bit of fat, but it also has like 7 or 8 grams of protein per 100 grams.
Wow.
And it has like, and like carbs. So basically the thing is, it's carbs plus protein. That's the main thing about the waffles. Also, they're so good. They're really, really good. Like they're a bit maybe dry, maybe, but I love them so much. They saved my race. I would, at each and every aid station, I would take 9 and I would eat 3 while I was there at the aid station and just pack the others and eat them while I was like walking out. And then, so good. So good. So I plan on doing that again.
I might invest. So like me and Andrew.
No. Just do a UTMB race and they'll give them to you for free.
So you mean you're trying to tell me I have to wait years to get this experience? I want these things now. You've sold them to me now. Like I've had these here margarita jelly bars from Cliff. They're amazing.
Yeah, Cliff bars are cool, but Cliff bars are a bit heavy, maybe. The waffles are a bit lighter, you know? Yeah,
but the jelly ones and then waffles, I'm going to add them to my list just for the crack. And then me and Andrew, we'd always get a takeaway. So I think this year I might get a pizza halfway through. I love pizza. And Andrew's going to be my crewman, my man in the van. And I said, Andrew, like last year in 100 mile, his wife appeared with a McDonald's. And yeah, so obviously I'm on a predominantly plant-based diet, so I had the plant burger and a coffee, and Andrew had his McDonald's, and we were just that was just the best part of our race.
Amazing.
50-60 miles into it, and we're sitting there walking down the side of the road with a McDonald's. So McDonald's, Naak waffles, and Cliff jelly bars.
During training, I've eaten the most random stuff like ice creams or like noodle soups. Noodle soup is a lifesaver when it's cold, like a hot noodle soup. So good. Also, they're very salty, you know? So, like electrolytes and that kind of stuff. Fried chips I had once. It was raining so much, so I just stopped and had like chips.
What's the weirdest thing you've had in the trail then? Like we've talked about chips. Chips are awesome. Noodles are awesome.
I would say noodles
sound awesome. Noodles?
I would say noodles is the craziest thing I had.
Cold noodles? What flavor?
No. Super hot.
Oh, what flavor?
Basically, the crazy thing is, I was training for Istria in Bali, in Indonesia. So they have all these like knockoff 7-Elevens. And what they have is they always have this huge hot water reservoir. Then you can just buy the packet of noodles, So I would just take the packet of noodles and get like a soy sauce container. They have like the really small ones. And I would just, no flavor in the noodles. I wouldn't put anything in it. I would just put in the soy sauce. So it would be like just a soup with soy sauce. Amazing. They brought me back to life.
Oh, I was thinking over here we have, the pot noodles?
No, not really.
You've never
like
seen pot noodles?
In a cup?
Yeah, like a cup type thing. So there's loads of other brands now have them, but
yeah, same thing.
Yeah, we have pot noodles and they're barbecue flavor, curry flavor, chicken and mushroom flavor. Now I don't know if the ingredients in them are premium, because a pot noodle might it might cost you £1 over here, which is really not that much money. But do you know what? In the middle of a race, I think maybe a pot noodle might be the way to go. A flask of hot water, pot noodle.
I think if it's cold weather, like so good, so good.
So we're at the part of the show where we're coming to a close, and you do video editing. I think this is gonna take a while. How can people contact you? How can people find you? Where are you on social media?
It's just my name, so it's Patrick Delorenzi, both on YouTube, Instagram, and also Strava. I think Strava is for people who run. I think Strava is really, really cool because like it's all about training and that kind of stuff. So basically, if you want to see all the training I do like 2-3 weeks early, just go to Strava. You can see everything. Everything is public. Like I usually try and explain a bit. So definitely Strava if you're into training. Instagram if you're into like more, let's say, maybe more motivational stuff, like shortcut stuff, a bit of like knowledge also there. I try to share, but it's more like, let's call it aesthetic stuff. And then YouTube. Right now, YouTube is kind of like, it's stopped a bit because it's a lot of work and I'm working on a big video. I make these really big videos, like big, like documentary style videos about how I train and then how the event went. So the last one I did was how I trained to run 100 miles. And this video I'm working on right now is how the actual race went. And these like documentary style videos are made so that people watch them and they can avoid so many mistakes. That's the whole point of them. Like you can see the mistakes that I made. They might be things that are sometimes obvious, but sometimes they're things that people don't think about. And explaining all this stuff, I think you can save so much time, so many problems that you might have in training and also during the race. During the race, I, of course, made mistakes. I made a ton of mistakes. Just even, for instance, the race started at 5 p.m. and I didn't stay like in bed to sleep as long as I could. That's a big mistake because when you're at 5 p.m. the next day, it means you haven't been sleeping for like 30 hours already. So every minute of sleep you can get before, it's absolutely fundamental. And try and share that stuff. So definitely, YouTube, Instagram, and Strava. The other documentary, you can go to Cinelli. Cinelli is an Italian bicycle brand. So if you just type in Cinelli Badlands, you will find that documentary. And it's absolutely, I really enjoyed the project because it was done with 4 people who are not like professional athletes. One guy was Taylor Finney. I don't know if you know him. He's like he used to be an ex-pro cyclist who then, he was part of the first like Rafa wave where they started making videos about unconventional races. So like Dirty Kanza and all that kind of stuff. And then he quit and he just started riding gravel. He lives in Girona. He's from the USA, but he lives in Girona. So he was part of it. Then there were 2 girls, super hardcore. One from, I think, Austria and one from France. And the other guy was actually the marketing manager for Cinelli, who is an actual like a cyclist. So it was really, really cool. Yeah, super cool. So if you just type in Cinelli Badlands, you'll see it.
Patrick, well, I will do my best to fit all of that in our show notes. So anybody who wants to go and follow or watch your videos. And a tip from me, whenever you're watching like training or 100-mile documentaries. So for this year, my kids got, the Oculus, the VR headset. So they got the Oculus 3, I think it is. Anyway, Santa brought them an Oculus 3. And good old Santa, he's made of money. Oculus 3, and when you're sitting in bed and you stick on the Oculus 3 and see watching them documentaries about the ultras and the trail races. Yeah. Like, there's one thing watching it on TV where you get absorbed. See when the whole world around you is black and you're just sitting there watching you feel like you're in the world. So that is my tip to anybody who wants to watch your things, your videos. If you have an Oculus, stick it on and you become so absorbed in that world and watching these big American races, and they're phenomenal and they look so much fun.
One day we have to go to America and do an ultra in America.
Oh, yeah, mainland Europe, America, Australia, wherever you want to go. I would just love, I love the adventure. I think for me, it's all about the adventure, Patrick, and it's all about getting out there, it's having fun. And yes, I said 24 hours, but it's not always about
it. Doesn't
time.
matter.
It's about,
no, it's the same thing for me. Like it's nice to have a goal, but if it doesn't happen, it's fine.
It's absolutely fine. Patrick, thank you so much for coming on today and
thank you,
chatting to myself, and I really appreciate it. Have you enjoyed it?
Oh, it was amazing. Amazing chat.
And would you want to come on again? So we're talking maybe later on this year.
Definitely.
When you finish your races, some stories, tell us how it went. Tell us how your training went, because, you know, I think it's good that people connect online and chat to each other, tell our stories and to share our stories. And that's what we're all about.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe in like 3-4 months after the races, we can do a debrief and see how it went and what mistakes we made.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? That's an idea. You've just given me an idea for the show. Anyone who's been on the show, they have to have a debrief. Patrick, we'll have to have a debrief. No, thank you so much for coming on today, and I really appreciate you giving up your time.
Oh, thank you, Colin. It was amazing.